Straight from Wakanda, we have another Revoltech bootleg. Let's check it out. Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video we're gonna take a look at a bootleg of amazing Yamaguchi Revoltech Black Panther. This is yet another one of those KOs that you guys wanted me to take a look at and make a review, so here we are. Same thing as with Moon Knight KO. At first I skipped this figure because I was hoping that City Toys will make their version. But while that still may happen sometime in the future, I've decided to get this version anyway because I've heard some good things about it. So I'm hoping that this figure is as good as I've heard and that I will be able to have a lot of fun posing it for its posing video, so let's get started. First, a quick look at the box. This is that older style of Revoltech packaging with a window in front showing the figure and some of the accessories, but notice that in terms of writing on the box, it is stripped down to a bare minimum. There is no Marvel, Amazing Yamaguchi or Revoltech logos here. All that we have is Black Panther and Max here on the other side. Now, crazy enough, this Max is something that actually pushed me towards getting this figure. Why? Well, if you guys remember my videos about Revoltech Deadpool 2.0 version bootleg, that was when I became aware of there being a bootleg and then a bootleg of a bootleg. So, as it turns out, on this box of that better Deadpool KO, there was also a small writing saying Max down here. So that was kind of the connection that I made to this Black Panther KO. I figured that this one must have been made by the same guys who made that Deadpool. I hope so, because I would like to see the same quality. But moving forward, side of the box shows some comic panels combined with the figure, back of the box shows action promo shots of the figure together with included accessories, and again, there's no writing information here. Everything is blacked out. Other side again shows the figure combined with the comic. Nothing special at the top and literally nothing at the bottom. So now, let's open it up and let's take a look at the figure. Here is Black Panther out of the packaging, and I have to say that right away I had an issue with this guy. His right butterfly joint was really loose, but I tried to fix it in the easiest way possible at the moment. Let me show you what I've done. Here you can see that I've wrapped a piece of wire around the ball joint at the base of the neck. Arms are connected to it with two rings on top of each other, but there was a little bit of gap between the two rings, and that was causing the loose arm. So again, I've wrapped a piece of wire inside of the gap just to create more friction, and now I'm satisfied with the movement. It's an easy fix. In order to do something more, I would need to separate the torso so that I can reach that spot and fix it, but I don't want to do that, so for now this will do the trick. The other issue that I had was his left thigh cut. There was a big gap here, but I popped off the leg and it turned out that I just needed to push the ball joint a little bit more up into the thigh. I just heated up the plastic with a hair dryer and it was another easy fix. Other than those two issues, the figure is fantastic. All other joints are nice and sturdy, and as you would expect out of this action figure line, you can get this guy into a lot of dynamic and cool looking poses. The overall proportions and look are also standard for Revoltech. The sculpt is fantastic. The whole black suit is covered with a nice dotted texture that makes the light reflecting on the surface of the figure to break and thus give it a more interesting look. On top of that, there are also these silver details that make this figure look even better. Taking a closer look at the details, here is the only head sculpt that you get in this set. Everything looks really good. There is a little bit of paint bleeding on the silver strap going over the nose, but it's not that noticeable, especially when you look at the figure on your display. You really need to take a look at it as close as possible in order for it to eventually bother you. The face has that angry expression which is good for action poses. There are even more sculpted details on the neck. Silver collar looks good. It is broken into 4 pieces because of the shoulder articulation. The muscles are nicely sculpted throughout the whole body, and I just noticed that the gauntlets and lower leg armor pieces are partially painted in a darker blue color, so that is also interesting. It's not a fully black costume that I first thought it was. Here is a closer look at his claw hands. There are some imperfections in plastic poking out, but you can always trim that down. The claws are painted. It's not perfect, but for a KO it's good enough. Here is the back of the figure. We have a peg hole here here where you can plug in a stand that is included in this set. There is a little bit of texture missing here on the back of his leg. You can see in comparison to this one that the texture should be there, but it's on the back, so it's not a big deal. Let's now take a look at his accessories. He comes with a nicely sculpted and painted spear that also has some of the plastic poking out of it, but again, it's easy to trim that down. He comes with a nice number of alternate hands. You get claw hands that are already on the figure, a pair of relaxed hands, a pair of grabbing hands so that he can hold the spear, and a pair of fisted hands. He then comes with a pair of the same fisted hands but attached to these punching effects, and the sculpt here is also really good. You also get another pair of claw hands but with these slashing effects attached to them. And then you get even more of these energy effects, and together with them you get two translucent stands on which these attach. There are 4 of these effects and they connect to each other. All you need to do is align the 2 pieces and simply connect them like this. And when you connect all 4 pieces, you get an energy circle. And this is a nice effect. There are holes in these effects, so that is where you connect the stand. And so with that mini stand, you can get this effect. Or you can put it around him on the floor like this. And finally, he comes with a flight stand that you need to assemble. Let's now take a look at his articulation. The head and the neck have a great range of movement. He can rotate the head 360, tilt side to side. He can look down this much, up this much. We have a standard Revoltech butterfly joint with which his arms go across his chest. And this is how much the arms go back. Arms rotate 360. They go out this much. We have a bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, another swivel in the gauntlets, swivel in the wrists, and a hinge in any direction. 2 cuts in the torso that give us great range of movement, so he can rotate side to side, tilt, crunches forward all the way, and he can bend back this much. No drop down hip, but legs move out this much. There is a thigh cut, legs kick forward, back only this much, double jointed knees, a swivel in the ankles, feet move forward this much, back this much. We have a toe joint and a nice ankle pivot. Let's now compare this guy to some other figures. Comparing him to few other AliExpress amazing Yamaguchi bootlegs, we have here Deadpool 2.0 and Wolverine. Here he is next to another amazing Yamaguchi KO. We have Moon Knight and the City Toys Agent Anti-Venom. Here he is next to the original Mafex X-Force Wolverine and the SH Figure Arts Black Panther. Here is how he scales with 2 bootlegs of Mafex Wolverine. We have the so-called MAF Tiger Stripe KO and the City Toys brown suit version. Here is how he scales with Marvel Legends X-Men 97 Cyclops and Wolverine, and here he is next to Mafex Gambit and Magneto. Here he is next to the original Mafex 185 Spidey and the City Toys bootleg. And finally, here is how he scales with Marvel Legends movie Deadpool and another Mafex or MAF bootleg of Deadpool. So there you go, that was my review of amazing Yamaguchi Revoltech Black Panther bootleg from AliExpress. Would I recommend you to get this figure? Yes, I would. True, there were some QC issues, at least there were with my copy, but it's nothing that you can't easily fix yourself. I would say that it's worth it because the figure looks fantastic, it has an amazing articulation, and you get a lot of great accessories that will make this KO even more fun to pose and display on your shelf. So Max did a great job copying this figure, but I would love to see City Toys make their version because I'm sure it would be even better. That's it. Those are all just my thoughts, and now I would love to hear yours. What do you guys think about this figure? Do you think that the QC issues are too much for you, or you are not bothered by them? Do you plan on getting this figure or not? If you have the original, let us know how does it compare to this bootleg. I would love to know, so let me know all of that down in the comments. In case you want to get this figure, I will leave an AliExpress link down in the description. That's where I got it. As always, a special shout out goes to my Patreon supporters for helping me to do what I do here on the channel. Everything earned there goes into the channel's content, so if anyone else can join and help, please do so. Patreon link is in the description as well. If not, that's also okay. You are still helping simply by watching and sharing my videos, so thank you all for watching, thank you for being here with me, and I'll see ya in the next video.